Hi everyone, it's Roger and Abe here from DisKingdom.com with episode number 49 of the Disney Infinity and Beyond webcast. And it's been a pretty interesting week. Lots of little snippets, nothing massively too much, but we've got San Diego Comic-Con coming up this week, or it kicks off today even. And so there's going to be, I expect to be lots of information coming through from for Disney Infinity. But on this week's show, we're going to be discussing a number of things, including San Diego Comic-Con, this elusive release date, Ezra being open for pre-order, HoloLens, Morpheus, the July challenges, Disney Infinity under attack for Moths, and also some new toys coming to the toy box. So, Abe, you've been away for the weekend. You've been disconnected, sat out there in the desert. How have your weekend been?
It was good. It was nice, relaxing. A few people knew that I was going out of town, but they didn't know that I would not have service, so they thought something happened to me. But I went to Utah. I went to Lake Powell. A lot of people were like, "Ooh, are you going to Avalanche?" Like, yeah, I wish, but no. Went out, spent time with my girl and her family, and for 4th of July, and it was a lot of fun. So
Cool.
I'm back. I have tons of emails and notifications to go through. A lot of Twitter and Facebook. I'm just so lost, so I don't know. I'm just gonna wait for things to come to me before I even look them up. So.
Yep. So before we kick off, I just want to give a big shout out to our Patreons this month, including James from Infinity Museum, and also Ethan over at sorterapps.com and magicbandcollectors.com for all their support. You can find out more information at patreon.com/DisKingdom. All right. Okay. Let's kick straight into number one, which is going to be this San Diego Comic-Con, which is the big event which takes place in San Diego in California. It kicks off on Wednesday, the 8th of July. Loads of goodie stuff. Disney Infinity are going to be at the event. They've got a pop-up booth. They've also got a tournament that they're running there. There's going to be live streaming, and also there's expected to be some announcements and some other bits and pieces coming up. So do you want to share any of your thoughts on San Diego, since you are going to be there as well?
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be ridiculously hectic and busy, and everything's going to be expensive. So yeah, it's like I just came out of a holiday and now I'm going back in, and I'm like so out of it. But I'm going to be at the Disney Infinity booth. I'm actually going to take off and be there. Friday will be my first day, even though they kick off everything today, Wednesday, or tomorrow, whatever. Different time zones. Yeah. Anyways, I know they kick it off Wednesday. Then they have the live Twitch on Thursday, and then they have this thing going on Friday, which I'll be going to, and then the last day is Saturday, which surprised me because Comic-Con still goes on till Sunday. So it's going to be interesting, but that's probably just the pop-up booth. I'm sure they'll still have the Disney Infinity section inside the convention as well on Sunday. But other than that, I'm just going to be going, and I'm only going inside the convention center on Sunday.
Yes.
But I'll be there exploring the pop-up shop Friday, and Saturday I'm going to be exploring the outside because I know they have a lot to do outside as well. I was hoping to score tickets to the Conan O'Brien show, which will be filming out there as well. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Not a big deal.
No, so I'll just bring up the information on the pop-up shop. So this is available outside of the event. It's going to be basically at address 815 J Street near 8th Street. So you don't need a badge to get in. So if you're not with San Diego, you don't need to get into it. Opening hours are 3 till 10 on the Wednesday, 3 till 7 on the Thursday, 3 till 10 on Friday and Saturday. And you get to get your hands on the play sets, the expansion boxes, and the toy box before the release. You get to participate in the only in the toy box medicated reality experience.
No, wait, hold on. Not medicated. It's mediated.
Mediated.
Imagine. Take the pill and go ahead and play Infinity.
Well, that's I think going to come with the Morpheus stuff later. Explore
it's the same thing. Yeah, go ahead.
You're going to explore the unique Disney Infinity art exhibit, compete in the Toy Box tournament and make it on the leaderboard. There's a chance to win prizes. Participate in daily Disney Infinity scavenger hunts. and receive a Disney Infinity when you pre-order the Saga bundle. So so they could be doing that in person again, and more to be announced. And there's also going to be a special live Toy Box TV on Thursday at 6 p.m. PST. I'm trying to work. Well, that's going to be
Standard Time.
Yeah, Pacific Standard Time. So you can watch it there. And they will have all the information coming up. 6 p.m. PST. I'm trying to work out. That's going to be about 3 o'clock in the morning my time. So yeah, I won't be watching that one live.
I probably won't be watching either. I'll be asleep. So
so that's San Diego Comic Con. And you said that they've got a booth inside as well. Is that right?
That's what they did last year, and that's something that I found out at E3 that they will be doing as well. So they'll have something small inside.
Because it definitely looks like they've sort of focused more on the outside area where everyone can get to, rather than.
It's definitely bigger this year, but I think it's bigger because obviously they're recycling all that stuff from E3, so you need a lot more room. And I mean that usually the reason why you have something set up on the inside is because a lot of people go to the convention. I mean, they don't really go to the things on the outside, and not to mention that's where they make the announcements on the inside. Yeah. Because when we found out about Loki and all the villains last year, that was all announced inside the convention, and they populated in the pop-up shop. So
yeah. Which I think is pretty much going to lead on, because like I said, you're heading there on Sunday. And
I'll be inside on Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, so you've got Friday is going to be at the booth, and then Sunday you are going to be inside. So you got a nice big long list of things to go and check out.
Yeah, I got plenty to do. Yeah, lots of things. Hopefully, I'll be alive by then, but we'll see what happens.
So Abe will be reporting back from there. That'll be that evening. It depends. It depends what time he gets back. Maybe we might move it back a day. I just thought that.
Oh, for the I might be able to do it. Who knows? We'll talk about it.
We'll just kind of get a big prod to just keep him awake. Which kind of leads on to this next thing, really, with terms from San Diego Comic-Con is really there's been a bit of sort of information coming out regarding the release date for Disney Infinity 2.0 or 3.0 even. That's San Diego Comic-Con. We're expecting some announcements. We don't know. This week we do know the release date is supposed to be incoming. It was originally last week, and then it's been pushed back to this week, and then it's been pushed back from the beginning of the week to San Diego Comic-Con. So there is some information coming out. We don't know if we're going to find out more. So I think there are supposed to be some surprises. So maybe some new figures. Maybe some information on that Marvel playset. It would kind of, to me, San Diego Comic-Con still feels like the natural place to announce Marvel content.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder what it could be. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I don't know. Yeah. That's a hybrid, at least.
But also, I mean, in that same instance, over here in the UK, all the guys from the movie have all been out promoting stuff. I'm sure they're going to be flying back for the San Diego. So there's a lot of press and stuff already kicking off about Ant-Man. So to put out an Ant-Man announcement with a figure and stuff is a perfect timing, I think, because it's out next week. It would be a good, nice tie-in to the game. So no, that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting at least an Ant-Man reveal and a release date. That's my sort of predictions for San Diego Comic-Con at the very least.
Yeah, I feel like we'll see Ant-Man and probably Yellow Jacket, probably.
Yeah.
But will we see more Avengers? I don't know. Unless they announce everything Marvel. If they do announce everything Marvel, I mean, when I say everything, I mean the playset. Yeah. Then we'll probably see like the Scarlet Witch and Vision and all that. Yeah.
Because the only thing I did think of was if they're going to announce the release date, it's not while it's a big bit of news that everyone's waiting for, on its own for like the media outlets, it's not a huge story. So if it's tied in with a Marvel announcement or some kind of big announcement, this figure's coming and you can get it on August 30th. You can get that would make more sense to me, would be how they would announce it. I don't know about what you feel.
No, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, How it's going to happen, I don't know, because the Marvel Studios, like,
Mm.
won't be there.
But
Uh, but
Marvel
but
is.
yeah, but Marvel Comics is
Yeah.
going to be there, so
Yeah.
it kind of makes sense. I know that the presence of Lucasfilm is a lot bigger this
Mm.
year, which makes sense clearly. But I don't know. I mean, I have a feeling we might know a little bit more Marvel. I mean,
Mm.
they have to. When are we going to find out? I mean, I don't think they'd mention it at D23. That
No.
just doesn't make sense to me.
It depends. The only other thing is obviously on the Star Wars front is we've still got a lot of information about this Force Awakens um, content, and we don't really know much about Star Wars Awakens yet.
Hmm.
So that could be the big announcement instead of Marvel. So it's really kind of, they could either be either side. I think with Ant-Man being out this week or next week, timing wise, it makes more sense. But Force Awakens could also just, if they drop a trailer, depends if they drop a new movie trailer and they sort of announce the characters and stuff, it would be big.
Okay, yeah. Piggying back off of what you said, I have a feeling. I think this would be the moment to announce Marvel, because, like you said, Ant-Man is coming out. Um, I also do think that there's going to be a new teaser to Force Awakens,
Hmm.
the movie,
Yeah.
possibly announced, but not at the con, but online. Um, or actually, no, they'll do it at the con. Yeah, at the con, then online. But here's the thing: I do not think Force Awakens will be announced for Infinity there. I think that's going to be announced at D23, and the reason why I say that is they have to announce it before the game comes out, because the game comes out, and we'll talk about it in a few minutes here. But some retailers are saying that it's going to come out a little bit after D23. So it makes sense for them to announce that there. Now, does that mean it's going to be available at that launch date? Absolutely not.
Hmm.
I'm sure it's all going to be available later on. So
Well, I'm expecting the Force Awakens playset and figures not to be coming out till November, December time,
yeah,
regardless.
I was thinking about January actually.
I think it'll be out literally a few weeks, because they're announcing all the toys and stuff in September and so on. So it would make sense to have it out a few weeks, literally as the week that the movie hits cinemas to get I mean, it's perfect timing. I mean, to have the movie out with all the press and you have a brand new game with all the figures sat there would be insane not to take advantage of it. But like I said, this release date information has come. Few of our members on the Infinity and Beyond group have had emails from, was it Target and Best Buy, saying the release date for their pre-orders has moved to the 30th of August. Now, at the minute, Disney still haven't confirmed any release dates, so we're still in this zone of, like this.
Yeah.
But a couple of retailers are saying the dates. Different retailers, this is, there's probably about 6 or 7 retailers globally that have all been putting out dates with this August sort of zone on it. PlayStation, Sony put out something saying that the Star Wars characters or playset is out in end of September, which is a month after there must be about 7 or 8 different retailers now all kind of pushing that sort of August dateline. So I'm pretty confident that we're going to finally get that information for them.
Yeah, I think it's one of two things. I think it could either be that date that those retailers are mentioning, which is 8:30, or it could be that the retailers are responding to recent little hints and reminders. Because don't forget, like, the placeholder date they put was 12/31, so that's because they didn't know. But now that they're closer to the date, that's possibly it. That they're putting 8:30 as a placeholder. So who knows?
Yeah.
But hopefully by the end of this week we'll know.
Yes,
So.
I think the information is coming soon. Like I said, it's not official; nothing's been confirmed yet by them, and but with so many retailers putting out the information, it could still change. And I think this week, there was some tweets going on between like JV and other members of the team about the release date coming out and when it's coming and what. They pushed it back a day, pushed it back a week. So maybe the retailers were told a date and things have changed with the release. It's very tricky. It's a bit of an odd. There is going to be an announcement, and they pushed it back to San Diego Comic-Con. So I don't know. I still think end of August seems to be where everything's kind of pointing towards at the minute. But we shall see.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Okay. So let's move on to our next subject for today. Okay. So our next subject really is kind of the last of the sort of timed exclusive pre-orders is now open. Ezra is now available to pre-order. I'll just bring up here.
Hey, that's me.
That's you. Yes, Ezra is now available to pre-order at it's Toys R Us. I'm trying to remember where all the
I think it's Toys R Us. I think.
Yeah, Toys R Us. All of the pre-order ones are all now available to pre-order. As I said, they're all just timed exclusive. So
wait, I think you have the wrong figure up. That's Aladdin.
Aladdin of a Lightsaber, yeah. So you can also find Mulan at Best Buy, Sabine at Target, Amazon has Fear, Zeb at GameStop, and Canon will be at Walmart.
Canon.
So, Canon, yeah.
Canon,
yeah.
Canon. They don't sell. They're not. You can buy a Canon camera, but it's a Canon figure.
Well, my enunciation when I'm reading or just saying anything in general is pretty well known. I can butcher anything like this.
That's why I'm on this show, to translate.
Yeah, get the American version. Yeah. I love the word butcher the English language. There we go. But yeah, it's all right. I'll add some more Z's to it. It's fine. I think it's it's going to be interesting with these sort of timed exclusives. We don't really yet know how long the timed exclusives are. They could be 30 days. They could be 3 months. I don't know.
I think it's going to be 30 days.
Yeah,
it just makes sense.
But also, if they're all available at launch for 30 days, that would then kick into around the same date that then the Star Wars Rise of the Empire playset comes out, end of September. So that would kind of tie in, I think, quite nicely with that.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Might also be why the UK and other European countries and have not got any of the Rebel characters yet available for pre-order. None of them are out on pre-order. So if it's literally like a month timed exclusive, that could be the reason why.
This is they're working on translating the names. That's
yeah.
Why it's
they got to change all the Z's to S's. But it's and add U's to things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there we go. So Ezra is now, all of them are now available for pre-order. I think if you're in a rush, if you want to get all the characters straight away, you're going to have lots of boxes being delivered that week with these different characters. So yeah, it's a bit cool.
Not to mention Amazon has the Inside Out bundle because they have Fear. So yeah, definitely look at your retailers, see what sales they have, and if you really can't wait for all the figures at launch, you got a lot of stores to buy it from. So
yeah, I placed about 5 pre-orders last week. All I saw was my bill just kind of go. As I was placing all these different pre-orders for the starter pack and all the figures, but I'm trying to be strategic and sort of ordering them in small batches so that I don't want to have one box, kind of one massive box turn up and it's late. At least if I get something right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be something. It'll be the starter pack, I'm sure. But
yeah, I think I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna do my pre-order at Comic-Con because they usually tend to give you the free something there. So.
Well, they did state there earlier that they're giving a free figure away if you pre-order there.
Yep, so that's what I'm planning to do.
So that's cool. Okay, so let's move on to our next subject of the day, which is going to be this HoloLens Morpheus. Okay, so on next bit here is going to be a story that came through, and I'm just going to bring up the article here as well. Came through about Disney Infinity, working with different companies, Xbox and Sony with Morpheus for projects like HoloLens from Xbox and Morpheus from Sony. For now, HoloLens is Microsoft version, which is augmented reality, which is basically like you put the overlap the screen or your life with images going on, whereas Morpheus is more virtual reality.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And so Disney Interactive's John Blackburn said, "My own experiences with these devices right now is that I feel like they're directly against what we're trying to do, which is experiences that involve you and somebody else. The idea of creating this family memory and playing it together is a real core to the experience we're trying to build. And so when you put a lot of these headsets on, it's almost like isolating in the way. Until we can get past that kind of technology, it's not interesting to him. However, he then later added, you kind of look at our HoloLens stuff where you can see through, and that's one of the kind of interesting thing from their perspective, because they can look around, and it could be very interesting with a toy box. So, yeah, what do you think of this?
Well, I'll tell you this thing. I mean, and I look at this based off of both Microsoft's and Sony's presentations. Well, but honestly, mostly Microsoft's, because that HoloLens looked ridiculously cool with the Minecraft, and it makes me think that it would be kind of cool to see somebody's toy box creation the same way. However, I'm not crazy about. I mean, they didn't really explain it too much. Like, am I going to need a new table or something, or I don't know. But anyways, it's cool. Now Morpheus, I got to experience a game, Rigs. And it's interesting. It's very, very interesting as far as virtual reality goes. Virtual reality has advanced way more than the Virtual Boy with Nintendo. Way better. But I don't know if Infinity's the game, because you got to think about this, and this is really simple. Okay, you're gonna experience and enjoy your game through these lenses, and that's what's going on your screen, but you forget that this game category is called Toys to Life. There's going to be a point where you're going to need to switch figures. So are you going to be like, which one is, it's, I don't know if it's going to work 100%. Would it be cool? Absolutely. Would I want it? I guess I would have to try it and see. But at this point, I'm kind of with JB there. I'm not crazy about it. I definitely love it for other games, but Infinity,
Yeah.
50-50.
See, there's a couple of things. I think cost is one major issue, because of these devices, when they first come out, they're going to be expensive. They're not going to be cheap. And apparently, if you're going to spend a few $100s or even more on an accessory, kids generally aren't the best people. Usually, that the family people want to put these kind of big, expensive devices in the hands of. So there's that part of it. For me personally, every time I've ever tried virtual reality, there's a major flaw when anything happens with 3D virtual, and they're called these. They don't react very well to anything that you have to put in front of your eyes, because they don't usually have enough space for them. The light, it's things I always find just doesn't, having to wear set of goggles within the set of goggles, it always feels quite, it doesn't look right every time I've tried it. Or if I do put the virtual reality headsets on without the glasses, everything's so blurry, even though it's that close to your eyes. It's just, I've always got this major problem personally with anything like this, where it's like it doesn't work properly for me. And so for me, I'm going to be honest, all this stuff just literally just like, I'm not that interested in it. And because I've always had sort of, I know I've done the headsets and stuff a number of times, and I've just never found, I don't know if it's just another gimmick from sort of the video games consoles, where they're trying to come up with that idea of what is going to be the next big thing. And HoloLens might be a little bit different because you've got things, but we've already had it with like the Wii and stuff, where people are moving around and Kinect and Sony Move. Video gaming, they're trying to make it sort of this interactive experience where people are moving. Well, the vast majority of people that are playing video games don't want to be moving around. I think that's, it's like, I don't know if you saw the new trailer for the Playmation, where the kids are jumping around and they're doing all this. If you had the augmented headset on, it could make a little bit more sense while they're running around and shooting things. I could see that working a bit better. But then in that case, you can't have wires, otherwise you knock everything flying like I just did. But, I think it's like all this, for me, it's something I'm not interested in, because it's really going to have to be very, very good to be sold for it. And I don't know if this generation, the video games, the PS4 stuff, is going to be the generation to do it.
Do you ever watch 3D movies?
No, I've done it a few times at the cinema. I hate it. I can't.
Does it still not work?
It works, but it's so uncomfortable wearing two pairs of glasses. They
Okay.
don't light up properly because then obviously they're a bit further away from your face because they're that low down your nose, and you can see then you've
Gotcha.
got not only have you got one frame, you've then got two frames,
Right.
and my eyes take a while to get used to. I've never, if you're at Disney parks and you've got like a 20-minute Muppets movie, fine. Sitting through Avatar was I think even watching like Superman, Man of Steel, it takes me a while to kind of, I'm like cringing trying to sort of get my eyes used to it. So yeah, every time a movie comes out, I go see it in 2D. I think, but then even I feel like that 3D sort of buzz off cinema seems to have died down a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because if you did watch it frequently, then I can see how it could possibly work to do the virtual reality stuff. But if you were complaining about it, then clearly it's, 3D movies don't work. And piggyback off what you said, yeah, I haven't seen a 3D movie in a while. And for me, it's not that it doesn't work, but I feel like the effect is not worth the extra money because it's not that spectacular. In fact, I have a 3D TV at home, and I don't ever use the 3D feature. So
yeah, and that's exactly the thing with the 3D thing, is it was sort of pushed as that kind of big change to watching TV, and I know like here in the UK, they pushed all these TVs, but the content never matched up to it, and I don't think people wanted to sit 5 people at home all with headsets on watching the TV, and I don't know if this virtual reality and Morpheus stuff, whether it's still got that same boundary to go over. I think, if you're playing Call of Duty, there is maybe more advanced stuff to it, but to go mainstream, and I still have this thing with 3D where I'm still used to the Muppets kind of like, the pointing stuff and getting you.
Yeah, exactly.
The fun side of 3D, and I remember I've seen a few movies, and I'm kind of looking out for that kind of the silly little gags where they're coming straight at you to sort of.
But they don't do it, so that's why it's not even worth it. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So there we go. So I would love to know what you guys think. You can always comment below. Let us know. Are you excited about it? Because you might feel differently to us. Maybe this is the thing that you really want to see. Okay, so let's move on to our next subject. Okay, so July's challenges. Okay.
Subject.
There's a quick check on my piece of paper. Right, so Disney have announced the challenges for the toy box for July, and I will bring them up. So it's kind of in that zone now. I think a lot of the toy box artists, I know a lot of people are currently working on their entrance to try and get into the Toy Box Summit. So if you are maybe disqualified because you can't go to the Toy Box Summit, it might be a good time to try and get in there. But yeah, I know personally for myself, I'm kind of sort of stepped out the toy box for a bit because I want to play some other games, and I know once 3.0 comes out, Batman is literally sucking up the time on that. But I think there's a lot of people feeling very similar at the minute. They know 3.0 is around the corner, and there's gonna be a lot of time. So we've got literally the one that ends today is the flight requiring no flying design, a toy box specifically created for the flight ability. Next week is Tower Defense, to create a design of Tower Defense toy box. The week after that is the Hercules toy box, inspired by the Disney animated classic. 23rd to the 29th of July is Dinosaur, go prehistoric and create a toy box from millions of years ago using the age of the dinosaurs. And then finally, we've got the 30th of July to the 5th of August, which is the Little Mermaid toy box challenge. I think that'll be a popular one. So there's quite a few toy box there, different stuff. Nice all over the place there. I like, there's the random sort of dinosaur one thrown in there. But yeah, so if you're still building your toy boxes and you're still kind of making the most out of your time, those are the challenges to be going for. But yeah, I think there's always that lull just before the new game hits where people are, I know I'm going to be after once 3.0 comes out, that's me for a few months, probably right through the Battlefront.
Okay, I can't wait.
Yeah. So now that is so that is a quick run through there. Let us know which ones you are wanting to get involved in.
I think it's interesting that they bring up Dinosaur and also Little Mermaid, kind of like two of the biggest rumored stuff to be coming soon.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything funny to it.
I think it's kind of funny.
Right. Okay, let's bring that one up. Okay, now our sort of other bit of news, which is kind of probably the most random bit of news we've ever sort of reported on, was that Disney Infinity 2.0 was almost delayed by Moths. Apparently, in an interview with video gamer John Vanacci, said that the container ship, which had 500 of those railroad cars on them, and Disney Infinity was in there, but on some of the other containers contained Asian gypsy moths. So they had to take the entire ship back and put it out to sea to do the whole fumigation. And they were actually worried. They said, "Oh goodness, some of our starter packs are going to be late to certain retailers. What are we going to do?" And they didn't even know what the moths were. It's certainly an odd story. To be honest, I didn't really know much about these moths beforehand, but apparently America are trying their best to try and not get them into the country. Did you see that story, Abe?
No, actually, the first thing I asked you if I missed anything while I was gone, and you said Disney Infinity 2.0 was almost delayed by Moths, and I thought you misspelled months, and so I decided to make fun of you, and then come to realize that the actual story was really Moths. I was like, uh-oh, whoops. He was being serious. I was joking around. But after you mentioned that, I thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, of all things to delay a game, I mean, that's random as ever. Moths.
Yeah.
Why are they importing moths, or did they infiltrate, or I don't know.
Yeah, they must have got onto container ships. But this actually, it's not. I'm here in the UK when Splatoon was launched. Game had their entire truck full of all of the triple packs with all the figures got stolen. So the whole of the UK got lost all of its triple packs for Splatoon. So I was like, because that was the thing. It's like, well, if that ship, it's like, that kind of thing of, when you're sort of shipping around all this sort of content and stuff, you put everything together into big bulks to try and drop the any costs, but you are literally putting all your eggs into one basket. So if something happens, the entire thing is, flushed out.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Disney Infinity Saga packs aren't all on one big truck coming into the stores. But it's an interesting story, but it shows you how real life can interfere with all the best made plans, and it really would have really hit a lot of retailers. Would have hit everyone if tens of you don't know how many starter packs could have been on those ships if that had happened.
If any of you Chinese moths are watching this, please don't get on the boat. Thank you.
Right.
That's so interesting. I can't believe that happened.
Yeah, that's
I'm glad I made it though.
Yes.
Fun game.
Okay. Right. Okay. So we're going to move on to kind of like the last or biggest subject of the week. Really was this past week. Was it Quinjitsu? I can't say his name. Quinjitsu.
Sorry,
Quinjitsu.
Yep.
Yeah, Quinjitsu posted a number of comments on one of the Disney Infinity fans forum pages, basically talking about new toys coming to the toy box, and he kept replying to people's questions, and it was a really good sort of interactive thing. And so I'm going to just run through some of the things that he said over there. So the first one is going to be a load of new creative toys, which we kind of expected, and I think this is kind of slides into this thing of they're building on what they've already got. So yeah, I'm going to run through some of these toys. So we got the distance checker. You can basically attach it to two different things, like your current location and a townsperson you want to act as a mission giver, and can set it in a number appears on the top of your screen, counting down or up, depending on how close you are to those things. It basically acts like a play set where you're told where to go to. I think that sounds fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
You're definitely jumping into playset territory, even playing Batman and stuff. That's what you're doing when you're running around. The playsets. You're giving you a direction. It's almost like a compass. I think that would be amazing to have in toy boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that was also got.
Can't it also, or maybe it's a different toy. I was gonna say, like, can't it also decide to show somebody on the little map, like once you get close to it, or a direction, or is it a different toy?
I
Right.
don't know. I think it's just. I think the distance checker might be what that kind of is counting down to. I know
Okay.
they've also added a load more sounds. They've added a lot more effects. They've added over 25 new collectibles, and there's also added some new actions. So whenever you use, so that is really good because I think now the actions, the effects, and sounds are very good at personalizing your toy box, and so it can really make a big difference. All those sounds, because I think it's the one thing that was missing was audio. Because to be honest, you could play Disney Infinity without a sound on, and it wouldn't really make a lot of difference. So we've also got the radar marker where you can connect it to a townsperson, making either like an exclamation point or a question mark or other options appear just above them, just like they did in the play sets, and can choose to have the townsperson shows a blip on your radar. So yeah, so that is exactly
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So if you choose it as a connected actor or locator, it'll be visible on your radar, or only if so that really is kind of going to make, I think, sort of these elements of toy boxes of trying to get to where you want to go, creating stories. I think the toy boxes are going to really improve having that in there.
Yeah, what I like about it though is you also have the option of making it show up automatically, like telling you a direction to go, or also a blip if you're nearby, which means you can be anywhere in this toy box and it won't show up until you're finally close to it. So that's kind of cool. It kind of adds like a nice little like hunt to a search toy box type of thing. So,
but I think it's going to make it so when you are having like a quest, oh, please go, you need to go speak to Bob over here, or you need to go find this, or you need to go press this button. You're going to be able to direct people so much easier, and it's going to make it's going to make the structured gameplay more. When they talked about making toy boxes like play sets, these are the little things that will make that difference. Okay. Other toy boxes include a new property in the text creator, so you can input a number. So when activated, the amount of cash will spill out from the consoles, because this was the thing of using the last one, was you had to sometimes set up different toys to give the amount of money you wanted to give, and you had to, but now you can actually type it in by the looks of it. So that'd be pretty good.
That description kind of threw me off when I first read it, because it makes that spit a certain amount of money out of the console. I'm like, sweet, my PlayStation's gonna be spitting out money.
Yeah, you just put it in. You just sit down there and find a £20 note straight into the disk drive, and there you go. Bye bye.
That's what I was gonna say. I thought those consoles take my money rather than give it. Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so we've also got the NPCs will automatically stand still for about 10 seconds before they start to wander. And this will give you time to easily put new behavior or connections in. You can also make them stand still. This is one of those things you used to put down a townsperson, and you used to be running around trying to grab them while you're trying to like stay still. So that will be a lot more help. It does look like they're working a lot more on these NPCs to make them more usable, which is good. And again, more stuff they've added. A friend generator is now a property of behaviors. You can assign automatic behaviors for NPCs that spawn out of them, which sign straight into this. If you're creating the friend generator and you want the NPCs to do something, you're setting them before they come out, which could stop all that problem, which is fantastic. Townspeople were all over the place in previous games, so that's a really good improvement. Okay, and we got the world builder, which you can place in your level, and it determines if you see your level building out dramatically, or it takes out. I wasn't too sure on this. The only way I could think of it was when you put the box down, whether it does it fast or slow. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a little bit easier to see when that one's in person.
Yeah, the world builder kind of threw me off myself, because I thought it was. Is it kind of like townsperson on steroids, or I don't know. Anyways,
the only way I could see that was maybe a bit like when you use the like the
little builders.
Or either the builders, or when you say like I want a new building toy box, and it kind of builds it for you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
There's also a new theming creator toy where you can set logic to create the theme of your entire world. So this might be a way of, maybe, for example, you build a toy box and you set up so at one point the entire lot will change to, you know, maybe you've got Frozen and you go for a door and the entire door then changes to Groot's power disc, you know, options, which is, again, little options like this can make all the difference. And then we've got, there's new categories they've all been resorted, and they've trying to make it a little bit more inquisitive, or sort of be able to find toys a little bit easier. And they also added some new set pieces, which pretty much was expected. But yeah, lots of what I'd call sort of tinkering with the toy box, and I think that's maybe where this game really comes into. It's a tinkering with that toy box that we had in 2.0 to make it better, rather than that massive overhaul we saw with 2.0 from 1.0. Oh, he's yawning. He's nearly gone. So
sorry.
Yeah.
I was trying to hold in that yawn. I was gonna say, I agree. I think it's more of a beautification project, like this toy box in 3.0. It's going to be like 2.0, but a lot cleaner and a bunch of new features, obviously. So,
but also, I mean, they haven't really done a lot of updates to 2.0's toy box since it came out. They did that in like initial patch, and I think they just jumped straight into 3.0 of trying to make a fixing those problems. You know, we've got the new spline toys, we've got this. But when I'm reading all these toys, all it's to me is it's like they are improvements, extra features, ways to make things better, ways of what people are complaining when their toy box going, oh, why can't we have this, or why can't we have this? Is feedback and how they're tinkering things to make them better. So the toy boxes are going to be a lot better because of all these toys, but on their own they wouldn't really, they're not a make or break thing that they had in previous games, but they're going to make toy boxes just better, and I think that's what we're going to continue to see.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
But it also might explain why, if you know, there's been much more emphasis put, I think, on play sets this year for 3.0. It feels like they haven't. I mean, obviously, they'll start pushing the toy box more around the Toy Box Summit, but the toy box elements, they haven't really been sort of pushing as strongly as the play sets and the toy box expansion games. Maybe because that's what sells extra figures and stuff. But that's how I'm feeling so far with all the news that's come out. The toy box has been one aspect that's kind of had the least amount of information about it.
Yeah, no, that's true. They haven't really talked much about it.
But it might be that thing if they've just sort of tweaking around with some of those bits and pieces and trying to make a better toy box. So it's going to be interesting. I think with having those toy box expansion games and 5 play sets and possibly even more, you know, their aim has been to try and make more content.
Yeah.
Because I do think with 2.0, I think they were so heavily reliant on user-generated content that they do need to make, you know, these little adjustments could make all that difference.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah.
So, anything else you want to add on that one there, Abe?
No, I'm excited to try a bunch of those. I mean, there's still a bunch they haven't even mentioned, but we'll see.
I think it's definitely going to be one of those things with the toy box. I think once the toy box artist gets to grip to it, they will be working out what's going to be going. And I always thought with the toy box was like each year and each edition, that toy box is just going to continue to grow. You know, with all the toys from previous games coming in, you're just adding more to it, adding more themes, adding more shapes, adding more colors, adding more. So the toy box, it has a major upgrade. Rather than it's not like other games where that's a brand new game or something. This is building on that, making it better and making it stronger, because all that stuff you had before is still going to be in there. So you know, it's quite interesting, the idea of having, you know, 3.0. It's the 2.0 toy box, but you know, ramped up with more toys. You know, is exciting for toy box builders.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to give a lot of the builders more challenges too, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, and also I think in general, you know, if they carry on with this Toy Box Summit thing as well, it encourages, you know, the major toy box artists to be doing bigger stories, better toy boxes, and I think all these toys are just going to make it more structured play, which is what a lot of people are after. You know, you get in a toy box and you don't know where to go, or you don't know what to do, and a lot of those toys mentioned there are about streamlining a story, about telling a story.
Yeah.
But no, that's pretty cool. So I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up. Abe's going to have a pretty busy week there with San Diego Comic-Con. We will be reporting all the news on the website that we get through. I'm expecting everything to start ramping up from today once all the San Diego stuff kicks off. But yeah, anything you want to add on San Diego before we close out?
Yeah, I was going to say, my updates aren't going to be as heavy this time around. I'm probably going to try to take pictures and upload them to Instagram or straight to Roger, and then he can report something. But I'll have stuff up the week after Comic-Con, and
yeah, I mean that. Yeah, I was going to say that Sunday is going to be way too manic.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. I mean, we got the week to talk about, so
yeah. So yeah,
actually more like 2 days, but anyways, whatever.
Yeah, so we will be carrying on with all the content. We'll be having lots of information coming through. Remember to get in touch with us through all of our social medias, Twitter, on our Facebook group, Infinity and Beyond. And yeah, anyone can always ask us questions or something like that. We'll always try and sort of answer them. We'll go through bits and pieces. But yeah, and a big thank you again to our Patreons, Ethan over at sortapps.com and Magic Brand Collectors, and also James at Infinity Museum. There are lots of different options over on Patreon. You can find us there. Even every little bit helps, and it's going to help improve the content that we can deliver to you guys. I think that's pretty much going to wrap up this week's show, guys.
Yep. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, and we shall see you guys later.
Good night.
Night.
Or good